I and the Father are one, said Jesus in John's Gospel. But what did he mean? In many conversations I've had with Christians over the years, particularly missionaries, this phrase, this verse in the Gospel of John is often produced as proof that Jesus claimed to be God. I've always found it a very ambiguous statement. I and the Father are one. I want to say, one what? One in will and purpose, or one in substance and essence? And that, of course, reminds one of the Council of Nicaea in the 4th century, which defined the Son as a one being or one substance with the Father. So I thought it might be helpful to refer to a top New Testament scholar, a chap called William Barclay, who I featured in a video before. He was a Scottish author, a Church of Scotland minister, and a professor of divinity and biblical criticism at the University of Glasgow in Scotland. And he wrote a very popular set of Bible commentaries on the New Testament, and that have sold literally millions. And it's one of these I want to refer to, where he talks about this very passage, and he offers an explanation that I personally find satisfying, and I wonder what you think. So Professor William Barclay writes, "Now we come to the supreme claim, I and the Father are one," said Jesus in John 10:30. What did he mean? Is it absolute mystery, or can we understand at least a little of it? Are we driven to interpret it in terms of essence and substance, and all the rest of the metaphysical and philosophic notions about which the makers of the creed fought and argued? Has one to be a theologian and a philosopher to grasp even a fragment of the meaning of this tremendous statement? If we go to the Bible itself for the interpretation, we find that it is in fact so simple that anyone can grasp it. In John 17:11, we read of the prayer of Jesus for his followers before he went to his death. "Holy Father, protect them in your name that you have given me, that they may be one, as we are one." And Barclay translates this in bold, that they may be one, as we are one. Jesus conceived of the unity of Christian with Christian as the same kind as his unity with God. In the same passage, Jesus goes on, "I ask not only on behalf of these, but also on behalf of those who will believe in me and through their word, that they may all be one. As you, Father, are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. The glory that you have given me, I also have given them, so that they may be one, as we are one." That bit at the end there, "so that they may be one, just as we are one." 17:20-22. Jesus is saying with simplicity and with a clarity which none can mistake that the purpose of the Christian life is that Christians should be one as he and his Father are one. And that's William Barclay, The Gospel of John, Volume 2, page 86-87. Now, I find that very persuasive. It's the same language that Jesus is using in his prayer to God, that his disciples should be one with them, with himself and God, and that in the same way that I and the Father are one. So there's no need really to bring in later ideas of substance and essence from the Christian tradition and in Council of Nicaea and the Council of Chalcedon. It's there in the text itself. So the natural meaning, I think, I and the Father are one, is one of the unity of purpose and will, and the disciples too should share in that unity. So it's not a claim for deity on Jesus' part at all. In fact, it's the opposite. He's talking to God about the unity he wants for everyone. And of course, I should really say also that it's virtually universal amongst biblical scholars. By this I mean these are professors that teach at Oxford and Cambridge, Harvard, Yale, all the great universities. They are virtually unanimous that the very exalted claims of Jesus which you do find in John's Gospel, like "I am the way, the truth, and the life, before Abraham was I am," and so on. These I am claims and similar ones like them are not historical. They do not go back to the historical Jesus. And there are very good historical reasons why they don't. And this is a consensus in New Testament studies is quite rare, but this is a virtual consensus across the board amongst liberals and conservatives and Catholics and Protestants and so on, atheists. They all agree that these amazing statements do not go back to the historical Jesus. And this is something that the average person in the pew, the average churchgoer, is not told about. Certainly not by their pastors and ministers and priests. For reasons which we won't go into here, they don't share that information because the priests and the ministers themselves have been trained and taught by the professors in seminaries, in universities across the West. But the information is not usually passed on. And this, I think, is an intellectual scandal of the highest order. But that's a subject for another video. Until next time.